Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday, and welcome to another episode of Tea and Coffee with Paula and
Jay. Good morning, everybody. I'm excited for our guest today. We're ready. Got our little jerseys ready, but good morning. How are you doing?
I'm all right. It is a busy day. We're just getting all the logistical stuff done for you for next week and the week after, and yeah. And
I'm catching up on a little bit of
Yeah.
rest too. I got a nap in yesterday.
You
It felt
did.
nice.
Yeah, no, it is sometimes good to have that afternoon nap to mentally catch up, not necessarily physically sometimes, but mentally catch up. And then you got up and then you were just constantly working. So bless you. You're working hard.
I am because there's 2 tours that we're planning right now. So 2 weeks worth of stuff to get done. Venues, theaters, and yeah, that one theater did not respond. So I guess I'm too what they call a separatist who rent a theater in Hamilton.
Oh my goodness. Shake.
But we found an alternative. We got a good one. It's booked. Everybody's happy, and we'll get it done. Just finalizing a couple more dots of the I's and the T's of the crossing, and we should be all set for the Ontario version or side of things. We're all set for Alberta. We've been set for a while.
Yeah, exactly. The tour next week, starting on Monday in Whitecourt. We're all good to go.
Yep. And you got the name. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, just working on one last detail, which is the third-party advertising to see if Stay Free Alberta will be able to bring their canvassers, because I won't be doing any signing. It's not a signing petition event. It's an event for public speaking. So we'll be doing that, but there's always room for a table or two. So we're working on those final details. Very pleased with the progress yesterday because Stay Free Alberta has got to be very, very careful.
Yes.
Elections Alberta is being very scrutinizing, which is normal and fine. I don't think there's a problem with that because everything's on the up and up. It just takes a little bit longer to get the processes in place and get things done. So working on that yesterday. So thanks to the people at Stay Free Alberta. We're happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm excited to get yours and Kathy's and Dr. Hodgkinson's message crossing northwestern Alberta. And it gives them an opportunity as well, because sometimes we all see messages from, hey, what about, northern Alberta, or what about, northeast or northwest? Because it's a bit of a schlep to get up there. Oh my! So he just got a whiff of the witch's brew.
Yeah.
I just saw her face being pulled.
Oh, you may as well see it too, because I just cleared my nose and I should have left it alone. Yeah, there it is, right up in there. I'm not sure what that ingredient is, but my nose doesn't like it. But you're correct. One of the things, though, is we're not necessarily sharing our message. We're opening up for questions. A lot of people have questions at this stage as well. And no matter where you do the tour, the other parts of the province say, what about us? So we are doing tours all over Alberta. So we'll be doing southern and western and central and eastern. And we'll be coming as close to you as we can with this tour. But of course, there's other events. StayFreeAlberta.com. Keep an eye on there. Mitch and Jeff are crossing the province. Jeff was in Edmonton yesterday.
Okay.
So do stay tuned to them if you want to hear from them. But there is going to be a few of us who are trekking around Alberta to come see you all.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And so looking forward to getting the feedback from that. And looking forward to, seeing you home on Thursday. Next Thursday.
Yeah, I'll be home in our little bed and hanging out with you for a couple nights. 3 nights maybe. No, 2 nights.
No, 1.
One,
well,
that's
it's
right.
1. You're
Because
home.
I'm staying in Leduc, so I can hit the airport early.
Yeah.
And off to Ontario for a week.
Yeah.
I should be back for my birthday, or on my birthday.
TBD.
It should be. Otherwise, it'll be the day before. But we definitely want to get to as many theaters as possible out there.
Exactly.
And get the movie out. And that's what we'll be talking about today with Dan Hartman and Dean Rainey.
And as a side note, go ahead. You can check out the listings and get tickets at supportsean.ca.
Ooh, I got Tammy saying she's going to try and make it to the Barrie viewing. I'd love to see you there, Tammy. Thank you so much for that. That would be great to see you. We'll have some books and T-shirts and stuff available as well, and DVDs. Getting the DVD done for the movie, which has a special feature in it. The full interview with Dan is on the DVD.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, because the movie has parts of it.
Yeah.
Good chunk of it, but not the full interview. The full interview is very powerful as well. So that'll be on the DVD.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful and exciting stuff.
It's weird being a journalist and being a nerd and where our life was like 4 years ago even. And then here we are. We got a DVD. I'm being credited as a writer, and I'm very pleased to get this out there because these are the stories that need to be told.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, mainstream is not touching them. It's difficult
Yeah.
to hear the whole story. You want to know about how Sean, from a young man or young boy to young
Mhm.
man to the incident to what's happened after. That's what we put together. And there's likely going to be another part 2 as the legal part
That's
are being
right.
worked out in 2026, maybe 2027. We'll be following that closely and bringing that to you, whatever the outcome be.
Mhm.
That'll be coming to you as well. So there'll probably be a part 2 at some time in the future.
Yeah, because we know what we and many others are cheering for, whether they too have lost family and friends from the shot, whether or not they been vaccine injured. It's going to be affecting many people in this country and possibly abroad because precedence is being set, information and data is being shared.
America's watching closely. You'll see that in the movie or the
Yeah.
documentary as well, because there's 2 American families that were devastated in the same way, but they can't sue down there.
Yeah.
However, this could open the door to some opportunities to kind of change that. We'll see, and that's covered as well because we got some great doctors and interviews from families that were devastated by this as well.
Yeah. No, there are many voices, and we're only able to share a few, but there are many voices out there.
And that's the tough part is like who to include, whose story needs to get in there, whose story can you fit in there. It's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah.
You'll never get it perfect. You'll never make everybody happy. But I think we did not bad for the first time of putting something like this together.
Oh yeah, for sure, love. No, I'm super proud of you.
Oh yeah, you sounded like you're from North Dakota.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyways, what's the Martin update for today?
Martin, further conversations have been had to like what we're going to be doing with Wilbur, Piggy Lee, because when I was over there yesterday, Wilbur was able to attempt to have a bit of fun with Penny. So we're like, ooh, now she's not in season anymore. She's not in heat. So she was like, no, she's not having any of it. But he was up there. So it's like, maybe. So we are going to wait and see. We were just having plans on, because his temperament is so good, whether or not we keep him, butcher the other one. If we were to maybe get a second pen, then we could have him and keep a female for us. Like a whole bunch of, thinking about what we're going to do, plan for the future for the pigs.
Talk about pressure for the little guy.
I know, right?
He's probably working up his back muscles and getting things done because he's like, I know I'm on the chopping block if I can't. Wow, what pressure.
Yeah, because she is noticeably larger than him. Like she's taller than him. And so it's how likely is it going to happen? So the 2 breeds, and she's just ready for breeding. So she's large. So it's a case of, well, maybe we should get them when they're younger. No, she was ready at the time. She was just old enough. So we're like, these 2 breeds can't really mix unless there's, different leveling in place as she's higher up. So we were chatting about that, of what we're going to do, because there's going to be good meat to come off the Yorkshire, which is what Penny is. But there's also good meat, we've been told, coming off the Cooney Coons. But so anyway, that was really the conversation, pig talk was yesterday.
You all ready to babysit a bunch of animals?
Yeah, I am. I did my dummy run yesterday and I'm going to do it again tomorrow.
Dry run.
Yeah. But also we've got such fantastic weather. My goodness, like I think next week Wednesday we're having +10. Like we have nothing for starting today, nothing but plus temperatures, because even right now we're sitting at +1. We went from 0 when we got up to now 1.1. So we've got really nice weather, which means easy watering situations for the animals, which is always watering your animals in winter. That's what you really got to work at. So yeah, so that was the dry run yesterday, and I'll do it again tomorrow.
Do you have our heater on for ours still?
What?
Wilbur.
No, I disconnected it. It's out of the thing. That's fine.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if we were powering that.
No, I switched it off.
You just have to be careful not to let the thing freeze, so you probably empty it.
Yeah.
Because the best plan is to empty that. If it freezes, you have a problem.
Yeah. So yeah. So no, it's all. So that's what the plan is. But no, taking care of the animals. We got horses. We got Master Ferguson, the steer, the pigs, the dogs.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. That's what being neighborly means.
Oh yeah.
and we'll lean on them when we need to travel as well.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to warmer places. Lucky you. But warmer places are here now.
Yeah, no, it's really decent. Oh, and one thing I wanted to shout out, Salt and Pepper in Breton. They are going to be celebrating their 7-year anniversary. And so thank you very much for being such an integral part of the community. We all love you. And for the month of February, 5% of sales are going to be donated to the food bank. So they're going to be doing that. So thank you very much, Salt and Pepper in Breton.
And they feed our pig too. We can collect the kitchen scraps from them.
Yeah, they're very generous.
Maybe we have to go there and celebrate today with them on their 7-year.
Is that your way of saying you want to go for breakfast?
I do.
That's your way. Maybe, sure.
Well, BT, if you're watching, see if you can get the little one up, the other BT up, and join us in SP for LT.
LT?
Later.
Gosh. Nerd.
A little Morse code. Me. But yeah, she's probably watching. The little one's probably still asleep. And there you go. You're on notice now. We're going to be calling you. All right. So we can jump into the news and see what's going on around the world. But look at those.
Yep.
Answers for Sean. We were blessed to be able to get one of these each.
Yeah, very, very kind of Dan.
Go ahead and bring up the news. There's been a couple things happening around this country of ours and future country of ours as we're still heading in that direction. So yeah, if you're in Hamilton and you have a theater and you hear me say I am for sovereignty, you can just unbook me now. They did. All right, so Nico had me on his show, Lagan. We're good friends.
It's a little while.
Yeah, it's been a while because the tours and stuff. But had me on to talk about the independence movement here in Alberta and the growing one in Quebec and Saskatchewan. So there might be some independence for Alberta by 2027. If you look at the timeline, we could be at a constitutional convention if everything goes in the direction we think it might be going.
Yeah.
Mitch said we could have a constitutional convention late 2026 or early 2027, more likely 2027, because it'll be Christmas holiday season time, so it'll be quite difficult. But it could be this time next year. There's a bunch of people sitting down hashing out what a constitution could look like for Alberta, and do keep in mind it would be voted on by the people. So it's not like there's a bunch of people that are just going to create it and say, here you go. There's going to be a process, absolutely, that includes feedback, input, and make sure that it's for the people, by the people.
There's been a lot of comments online seeing that if you're forgetting the treaties are going to be the ones that stand in the place. The bands are going to say no.
They don't have to say.
Yeah.
But as lovely as it is to have great neighbors and agreements in place, they make up 1%. Nobody's going to be abused. In fact, what everybody's trying to get to is a much better self-determination society set up here in Alberta.
Yeah.
That includes everybody. There's going to be nobody left behind. Everybody's going to be at the table. In fact, the Chiefs, I believe, are having an announcement today in Edmonton. I think they're still going to try, but I don't think they'll be successful in stopping a legal petition or the referendum vote. So this was covered a few times by several people at this stage. They're not being ignored, but they also can't stop democracy.
Yeah.
Full stop. So thank you to Nico for having me on. I appreciate that. Hal Roberts as well. He was at the Big Four event on Monday. He pulled me aside. We did a quick little interview. There's a link there. You can go check it out. Hal used to be from Bridge City News. He's now doing his own thing. Good guy. Big of a legacy journalist. He's got that tone to him and that presence to him.
Welcome to the News at 9.
Basically, yeah. But also he's trying to talk to everybody, both sides.
Good.
The person he brought on for the other side, though, is just an opinion. It's not providing any benefits to staying in Canada, not trying to convince anybody to stay in Canada, just saying, oh, it's going to be hard. Probably.
Yeah.
We're not worried about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been hard already, but looking forward to more stuff from him, and I think we'll be doing more stuff with him.
Yeah, so I tell my son when he says, "Oh, this is hard." It's okay for something to be hard. You just got to work at it, and it will get easier.
As Jacob would say, that's what she said.
Yeah,
he would say that to that comment. Mary Tallybowen, big supporter of Dan. Dan was on her show yesterday. or the day before. They got the same jerseys. Look, we're all winning.
Yeah.
But she did a good job. She's a doctor in the U.S., been exposing this for a long time. It looks like Dean and I will be on her show soon too, as we're going around sharing, marketing the movie documentary. But good job on Dan for getting out there as well. And he gets a lot of support out of the U.S. We're working hard with him here in Canada. There's a couple others, but his message should be front page news everywhere.
Agreed.
The premier met with the premier of BC, David Eby, left and said, basically said there's nothing done. Made progress. We're making progress.
How's that MOU working out?
It's exactly what they're talking about. There is going to be no progress. Your progress in this context means we've had a chat and we didn't kill each other.
Yeah.
Or didn't go backwards.
Yeah.
So in the context of these kind of conversations, progress doesn't mean they're getting closer to making a deal. It just means they're still talking.
Yes.
So I highlighted here yet another reason Alberta needs self-determination. Ottawa's laws against Alberta energy is what's empowering Eby to shut down the talks. There is nothing that requires him to do it. Federal government can just do it, but they're not going to.
Yep.
They can. They have that power. They can make large projects happen that are interprovincial, but they won't on this one. This is all just pony and circus, or what is it, bread and circus, they say?
Dog and pony show.
Dog and pony show about bread and circus. I mixed it too, didn't I?
You have.
Yeah, I do that. So we're not expecting any news here. This is just helping the call for self-determination, because if we were on our own, there would be very different ways to get stuff done through the U.S. And I believe even BC may be in a position to start to look at their own self-determination. If you look at that northern part, that's where Prince Rupert is. So if they take those steps forward, we may have different options in the future.
Yeah.
Self-determination seems to be contagious right now.
And as a side note, in my personal opinion, I don't think any Albertan is going to be, or any oil-loving Albertan is going to be leader of a Conservative Party who then could be potentially the Prime Minister, because the East is never going to allow it. So anyone who has been openly pro-oil is never really going to have an influence in the East. So Danielle, stay with Alberta.
Okay. And then Dan, Viva Fry has picked it up again. Viva's been a great supporter for Dan for a long time. Viva's very upset about what Dan had to say, because they're trying to, if Dan loses his appeal, it's going to be like a $50,000 bill for the government lawyers for the day or two. And this isn't justice. They're making things so difficult just to get answers. So Viva, he puts this fills me with seething rage. If or when people lose faith in the justice system, they will exact justice outside the justice system. The audacity to even attempt to deny someone of their day in court is emblematic of our so-called justice system. So thanks, Viva, for highlighting Dan. And in a bit, there's a bit of a segment from Viva as well about this. Boy, that stuff, I gotta tell you, gotta plug my nose. All right. Also, recently leaked anti-S protest donations records match the names of Canadian elected officials who are quietly sending funds to fuel the chaos in Minnesota. Great work from Juno News and Real Finkel Dusty, whoever that is. I can't see the name very well, but good job. They're digging stuff out. But who's really surprised?
Yeah.
Because Canada is a place where this is happening. We're socialists. We're heading into a strong socialist country. And this is what socialists do. They interfere with other things. So my post here is, so the liberal left of Canada is participating in foreign interference in another country. Wow. Canada is indeed broken when one of our exports is chaos.
Yeah.
They're always, they pull up that card here. Foreign interference in Canada, foreign interference in Alberta for the independence movement. That's Freudian projection, because this is what they do. So because they do this, they just assume other people will as well. That's why they call or blame or accuse without any evidence, because they do it. So they know that people do this, but they've been caught here. So they're interfering in Minnesota with the anti-ice stuff. And this is causing people to get really hurt. And a couple of people have died now because they're standing up to law enforcement who's doing legal work and they're getting into situations where bad outcomes happen. Whether you agree or disagree with what happened, bad outcomes are happening.
Yep.
And putting yourself into that position to fight with law enforcement is never a good idea.
Correct.
There is due process. People are being deported on deportation orders. Some of these orders go back as far as Biden's administration. These are lawful. They're just like they twist situations and make it look bad. And they're actually encouraging people to put themselves into very dangerous situations. A couple people have lost their lives simply by trying to interfere in one way or another. And it's horrible. It's horrible. And they're being, looks like, funded by some Canadian politicians.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
Yeah,
Very ugly.
completely agree.
You could look as good as me now. So the Republic of Alberta hat that I've been wearing around is a custom-made, one of a kind. Was actually. So until recently, it was a custom, one of a kind. It was made by a friend who he was wearing it at an event. I'm like, holy smokes, that's a nice hat. I haven't seen one of those around before. He's like, that's because I made it. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And then he put it on my head, and that's how I got it. Well, he's fired up his embroidery machine and has created several copies of it for me to take on tour with us. So if you're going to catch us on this tour to Whitecourt, Grand Prairie, Hinton, Breton, and Leduc from the 2nd through the 6th, I should have hats with me, and if you want one, that's going to be a time to get them. You don't get them online. These are custom made, so they're pretty rare. But I'll have them with me as I'm trucking along with Dr. Hodgkinson and Kathy Flatt.
Cool.
So I put here, hot off the press, literally, because his picture was right in his shop. Many of you asked where I got my Republic of Alberta hat. A good friend made it for me. He has now made several more, and I'll bring them on tour with me. So join me at one of these events and get yours.
Yeah. Be cool.
Yep. Maybe we'll sneak one out for you.
Yeah.
Your cash is good. So Daisy here clipped the part of Viva Fry talking about what was going on with Dan. Viva's a brilliant man, a good friend of the show as well. We've had him on several times. I've been on his several times. And as this Hartman case is heating up again, first it's the appeal that was argued on Monday. We got to wait several months to get a response from that. And there's also the Pfizer defense has been filed now. So there'll be action and movement on that, getting into discovery and some other processes. So stay tuned as this is happening. Plus, we're rolling the movie out as well, the documentary. So these are fun. These are fun. The lefties, they're upset, of course, of Alberta independence conversations happening. And this one kind of posted good news for us.
Yeah.
You know that they're not good people when they do the hashtag separatism because of sovereignty. Separatism is the derogatory term used by the media. So these guys are media junkies. But this Amanda lady posted, I just passed a local hotel that is having a signing to separate from Canada, and it's packed. It's causing traffic issues. It's very disheartening.
Oh, the horror.
Not disheartening at all,
Touch
Amanda. Thank you very much for reporting on one location. This might have been the Edmonton one. And yes, they are packed. Yes, people are showing up. Yes, there's going to be some traffic flow issues because that's how many people are coming. So thanks for the good news, Amanda. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Freedom Honey, hashtag winning. Should have used the meme of Charlie, what's his name?
Oh, Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
Winning.
Yeah, winning. And I posted, now that's good news. Great job, Alberta. You are showing up.
Yeah.
They are. So now even the other side is like, oh, there's so many that there's traffic issues. Oh.
Please take notice. We are not, it's not just a few, it's not just the rural community.
Not a fringe at all. Yeah. And their whole narrative of, oh, there's only a few people is falling apart. They can't hide anymore.
Yeah.
All right. So to be fair, I think this Antifa letter is fake. I don't think this is real because they put copyright and trademark and all this other stuff. I don't believe this to be real. However, what it is doing is it is causing concern within the movement and Stay Free Alberta because it says that they've had Operation Swamp Donkey. I wonder where they got that name from. Is a complete success. We have infiltrated behind the Alberta separatist lines and are now proceeding to second stage of the Operation Sabotage. We are winning, whatever. So this has been floated around. I personally don't think it's really Antifa who's written this and put it out there, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'd have trademarked their name and they have a copyright on their flag. But in either case, this is floated around and it's caused some concern. Not concern in that it's true. Concern in that these are how they're attacking. They're doing this kind of thing, and they're trying to put paranoia into the group. Like, are they real? Is that a good person? Is that Antifa? That's all this is doing. I don't believe they actually have people involved in it in any way, shape, or form. There's some good people vetting and keeping an eye on things, but I think that they're just trying to create the paranoia of it. So Marty posts here, real or not. We know there are groups trying to stop the petition process. They're trying to stop a citizen-led initiative. Let that sink in. Yeah, they're trying. They're doing some gross stuff too. But taking a book out of, or a page out of Donald Trump's book, go, hello, real Donald Trump. Canada may be harboring terrorists. Thank you for your attention on this very important matter. That's how he ends all his posts now. Because quite frankly, they designated Antifa as a terrorist group. And if this is a real thing, that's why I use the word may, if this is a real thing, hey, Donald, you should be paying attention because they actually have bulletins and they send them out and they're talking about interfering and sabotaging. So, yeah, maybe we're harboring some terrorists.
Within your neighboring nation.
Yep. This is one of the big major concerns the U.S. has for Canada as the national security of the U.S. Canada can, and it looks like, and is potentially a threat to them because of exactly things like this. If this is real, it's because Canada allows this kind of thing to happen.
Yes.
And there's some arguments that they actually contribute financially to it. And then, of course, here we are. This is why we're here today with Dan and Dean to talk about the documentary. It's getting a lot of attention, and I'm seeing posts everywhere now on this. So thank you to everybody who's sharing this out and to the podcast and shows that have had Dan or Dean on. No, Dan on. And then Dean and I and Dan, a lot of D's in there, are going to be spending a lot more time talking about this over the next little bit. So keep an eye out for that. Nico's already reached out. David Creighton's reached out. We've had a few people reach out to try and find some time. Ken Drysdale has booked some time. Ted Kuntz as well. So there's a lot of people who are taking note of this and are going to help get the word out because this is a fundraiser. After we take out all the expenses, the rest of it goes to Dan's Legal. So thank you very much to everybody who's already bought tickets. You can go to supportsean.ca to get yours. There's 6 screenings in Ontario. And then when I'm back, I'm planning 10 more. So 2 weeks of 5 days a week to get the screening across Alberta as well. In the future, we will release it as a pay-per-view. Again, it's still a fundraiser. And then shortly after that, we'll release it for a free view. But we'll still encourage you all to donate to Dan's fundraiser. So on that note, we got Dean here, and Dan's going to be jumping on any minute now. So let's go ahead and get ourselves ready for the men of the half an hour. And Dean looks like he's ready to go. Good morning, Dean.
Morning,
how are
Dean.
you? Oh, we don't have audio from you, though. You have to click that little gear and select a different mic. See if we can get you going there. You got some good video, so that's pretty good. Look, I'm directing the director. He can hear us. I can tell that. Yeah. No, we don't have you, bud.
Yes, I agree, Michael. Independence is our destiny. I believe so too.
That reminds me of the Back to the Future. The other day. Every once in a while it pops up on.
And as a side note, that's one set of movies I never get tired of watching. If it comes on, I'll be like, yeah, I'll take time to watch that.
Check 1, 2, 3.
Oh, we got you.
There I am. Sorry.
No worries. We were just talking about another movie, Back to the Future. But the older we get, the more I nitpick it now. I'm like, wait a minute, that didn't happen. That can't happen. How did that happen?
Yeah.
Who cares? I'm getting too old.
Classic Gen X movies right there.
Good morning, Dean. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you guys? It's early where you are.
Yep. Well, we're used to it, but we got our jerseys, our Sean Hartman jerseys on. We picked those up when we were out there doing the recording with Dan. I'm sure he'll be jumping on any moment now because he reached out. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
There he is.
Morning, Dan.
Good morning, Dan. How are you?
Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Paula. How are you?
We're
We are
good. We're
great.
good.
We're
We're
great.
just saying how we picked up these jerseys in Ontario when we swung by your place to see you. And we're very pleased and honored to be able to have them and wear them, Dan.
Yeah, they look great on you guys.
She
I hope
makes
to
everything
get one.
look great.
I hope to
Let's
get
go.
one when we launch in Barrie.
I'll bring
That's
you
right.
one, Dean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What size are you? An L? Yeah.
Probably an L.
Maybe. Yeah.
I
There we
think
go.
there's only 4 left. I think that's what they are. They're either large or extra large. So either way, you'll get one.
Appreciate
Excellent. Well, Dan, you've been getting around. You were on Mary's show and you're on other ones. How was that for you?
Exhausting. I even lost my voice a little bit. I had 2 interviews yesterday with Mary and then Derek Sloan, the politician. So it was busy yesterday.
Absolutely. And Dean knows what busy feels like because for the last several months, he's been very busy working on this documentary. And Dean, how do you think it turned out?
I'm really happy with it. I think I'm excited for people to see it. We'll know when we do that first screening, you know, what the reaction is, and if we've done our job of telling this story and telling Sean's story and everything Dan's gone through. But I feel we're in a good spot with it.
Yeah, Dan,
Mhm.
you've seen one of the rough cuts. You haven't seen the final cut because there's been small changes, but you've seen a rough cut, and yeah, you had a response to it.
Oh yeah, Angie and I were bawling our eyes out watching it. It's just unbelievable to see so many good doctors talking about my son. I was overcome with emotion. And Dean should be a Hollywood filmmaker. He should be up for an Academy Award or something for this, because not just because it's my son. I think it's the greatest documentary ever. It was just so well done, so perfect, and I can't wait to see the final copy.
Well, it was my honor to be able to help tell that story, Dan. Really, and it was a tough one to tell. You know, I have a 16-year-old too who plays hockey, and every day I'm sitting in the edit, going through your interviews and the doctors and the other people's whose lives have been affected the same way with myocarditis and that. And it's just, that's why I just am so excited and relieved to get it out there, because it is such an important story and it's such an important issue that I'm ready to just blast it out there and just get people talking about this again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
go ahead,
incredible, Dean. I can't wait for it. I'm so happy that Shauna and Alan were in it too. They're like my best friends on Twitter, and we talk every day. So I was really happy to see them, and it's going to be amazing. People are going to be so impressed. I've had messages, so many messages of people telling me they're bawling their eyes out just from the trailer, and I said, "Wait till you see the rest."
Yeah, no, you're not being hyperbolic at all. I've been through it several times as well, and it doesn't get easy to watch. And as
Yeah.
my kids are growing up, and I was even watching the full interview with you, Dan, yesterday as we were preparing that to be an extra on the DVD itself. And there was that part of that interview where you were saying that JJ reminds you of Sean because of the way his demeanor and his character was when you met him.
Yeah, when you were here and you went upstairs, I forget what you were doing, talking to my mom or something, and I was saying to Paula, I was telling Paula about that, and I started crying because he does remind me of Sean.
Yeah, JJ's a special boy. He's full of questions and curiosity, and he's got an energy. And Jacob with his hugs too. We're so blessed to have them in our lives. But as I was going through all of this as well, I'm like, just like Dean, I'm like, oh boy, like Dan, you are a hero. Okay, this comes out in the movie, the documentary. You're a hero to many, many people. So you keep strong and keep fighting. And this week was an important week for you as well, because on Monday was the appeal that started for the government of Canada being stricken from the case, the no duty of care. You want to kind of touch on some of the frustration you've been sharing online about the appeal process and what you're going through there?
Well, I thought Omar did awesome. He was really fantastic. It's like he goes into the zone, and he doesn't stutter his words. He just goes right to it. And in my opinion, I think he destroyed them, the two lawyers that Health Canada sent. And in my opinion, I think they're going to allow this to go forward. There's enough evidence that we have that needs to be heard in a court, and not allowing us our day in court is the most frustrating feeling ever. After all this work I've been doing for the last 4.5 years, just let us have our day. That's all we argued. We weren't talking about whether the shot killed Sean or not. We just want our day in court to present our evidence. There's new studies coming out daily about myocarditis, and we want a chance for the judges to hear about it, or the judge if they let it go forward. But my gut feeling says they're going to let it go forward at least.
Okay, that would be great
Yeah,
news,
that would be.
because Dean, as you were working on this with me, you did a lot of research, pulling up a lot of peer review stuff. We had the doctors talk about evidence and papers and medical information. None of this is propaganda or speculation. You were actually very careful on not putting in anything that didn't have something backing it up.
Mhm.
So, Joe, as you were going through that process, how did you feel about what you were learning about myro and pyrocarditis?
Well, I remember it kind of happening at the time because it's public sports, it's professional sports. And when these athletes, particularly the football player, that got covered up, that got gaslit just so quickly, so dramatically, that I was like, perked up early there. And just, I didn't realize the scope around the world, though, with European soccer football players, until I went through Dr. McCullough's study and started pulling out reference clips and examples and stuff like that. And it's just overwhelming. And I didn't even get a full scope of all the athletes that were affected in the movie. Like, just when we do the montages showing just the sheer numbers, having cardiac arrests on the field, in practice, all of that. So it reminded me again of what had happened, and it was like, I'm going to double down on this because this is clearly a huge issue.
Yeah, and that's kind of a major point in the documentary. Is it's not just Sean. There's other people, especially athletes and young men specifically. And at first, the propaganda came out and said, "Don't worry, you're going to be fine." And then there's that moment in the documentary that says 1 year later. And then now it's an update from the news saying, well, actually, maybe there's a little bit more to this, especially for young men who are dying. And Dan, as you're living this from the moment Sean passed to now, like you said a little bit earlier, more and more stuff's coming out, more and more information is coming out. Were you surprised at how much Dean was able to pull together and put into 1 hour when it came to that information?
Oh, yeah. There must have been so much work involved in this. Just to put together such a masterpiece like this, it must have taken a lot of work, and I'll forever be grateful to you guys for doing this.
Well, pulling out the medical information, I hope it's going to help your case going forward as well. And as more stuff is coming out, we've already started talking about doing a second part to this to cover more of the medical and more of the legal as it's happening in real time in 2026, 2027. So I assure you, Dan, that Dean and I will be paying close attention to this. I now have journalistic access to the courts in Ontario, so there's other things I can get my hands on now. We're going to be continuing to put this together so that people can understand what's going on. But we felt it was necessary to get the movie out now because the first part is the story and what's happened and what we've learned since then. The next part is going to be the legal fight and whatever that outcome is. So, Dean, not going to put you on the spot, but you're definitely interested in keeping an eye on this story.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think just a big part is, like, now we are really presenting the story in the court of public opinion. And now everybody should get informed on the story of Sean, of Tristan, of all the others, and can now really understand what we all went through, and the gaslighting and just the lack of informed consent. I think we've got to just start talking about this. So this is the first step I think I want with this film, is just like, what does the public think? And what are they, because we need them behind us to push this story even further, and then to get politicians involved, and then, just help Dan and support Dan through this fight. This fight is so important. against Pfizer and Health Canada. Just to even to be fighting is so fight, whatever the outcome is. And I'm proud, Dan, for you to be taking this up. I just made a film and it was hard. I can't imagine everything you've gone through and to continue this fight. So it is truly my honor, and I think Jason's too, to just help you in what little way we can on this.
100%. There's no doubt in that one. I think it's kind of God blessed on this one. It was interesting to see how it all came together without having something big in mind. I was just doing the interviews, talking to this doctor, talking to that one, talking to Dan, talking to his friends, and then it all worked together. Like one doctor would talk about another part, and then that would bring in that part. And Detective Helen Gruce, like that was an amazing thing that happened on its own. She was part of a different movie. And then I watched that movie, The Hate Network, from Greg Wycliffe. And while she was talking about Dan and talking about the Toronto call that she went on for Toronto Health that Dan was talking about. And like, oh my gosh. So reached out right away and said, can we use that? Greg said, absolutely. Helen said, absolutely. And it fit perfectly in the movie. Dan, you did see a cut where you saw Helen speak, right?
Yes, she's been my friend since the beginning. A lot of people didn't know that I was talking to Helen right from the start. We talk pretty often on the phone, and she's taught me some things that I didn't know about policing. And like, for instance, because Sean's cause of death was unascertained and they still didn't come up with a cause of death, that should be an open investigation. And the police should still be looking into it. I don't think they are, but it should be an investigation until there is a cause of death. Like, I wasn't even allowed to go see my son, his body laying beside his bed. The police told me, no, it's an open investigation. You can't go see him. So it makes me wonder why it's not being investigated. I mean, it should be.
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes getting a documentary out there can cause a lot more people to take a second look, whether they're in law enforcement or politics or something else. We have seen this happen in the U.S. Suddenly Died, I think, was one of them. There's another one where it actually caused a lot more people to take another look at what was going on. But hopefully that will happen. And this is one of the reasons why it will be released for free in the near future so that everybody can watch it. And hopefully additional people like Helen Gruce can pick up this documentary and take a second look at it. Dean, you've seen this happen before, where a documentary comes out and more action starts happening. There's a Netflix one. What was that one where that guy? There's a few of them. Netflix have come out. Sorry,
there's a lot. The Jinx, where the guy confessed at the end of the documentary, and that changed the whole thing. No, but I mean, documentaries, like they're kind of a social justice tool. It's kind of a way for those that don't have a say in court or officially to tell a story, to tell their side of the story. Long, strong history of that, which is why it's been so baffling to see it flipped on its head and like, no, we're going to snuff that out. You can't do that. Your documentary is banned now. We're not talking about this. Like my first film about Michael with the vaccine injury. You know, all the censorship that I went through and theaters not booking us and all this. So I just want to take documentary back to its root, which is to get the everyday little person's story out when the media ignores it and when official channels ignore it. And yes, absolutely. I believe that this can push tides in the other direction. This can change motivations and its story, right? And Dan tells it so powerfully. Yeah, one thing I was so impressed with just with Dan's interview, he just laid a great foundation of what happened. He didn't speculate. He didn't try to be rhetorical or anything. He just spoke and he talked from the heart. And that just laid a great foundation of which I could just build everything on. And then when Jason would say, oh, hey, I found this. Can we put this in? I was like, okay, all right, let's try it. Oh, yeah, hey, it worked. Yes, it completes the story even more because it is a bigger story, you know, than just the one single story. It kind of builds up and it affects so many people's lives.
Yeah, and the irony about your other movie, Why Can't We Talk About This? It's really about the censorship of the topic. Like, we're not allowed to talk about this. Why can't we talk about this? And then you recently got censored on it, didn't you?
Yeah, there's a educational distribution company here in Canada called McIntyre Media, and they specialize in licensing content and media, films, TV shows to universities and post-secondary schools, high schools, everywhere. And so I have a very good relationship with them because outside of these kind of documentaries, I make TV shows, cooking shows, homebrew beer shows, all kinds of just sort of fun educational shows. And they've taken all them and they've loved them. And then I submitted this and I said, I'd like to submit this film because I think it's very important, especially for the future, as we look back at this time as a record of what happened. And I'm not anti-vax. I've had 2 of these stinking shots. This is just the story of a man that's happened, and I've got some great scientists and doctors in it. And I see on your platform you have plenty of pro-vaccine films and documentaries. I think there's space for one that maybe offers an alternative view. And they got back to me and said, okay, well, it's a really well done film, but we're a little nervous about putting it on our platform because we serve a lot of universities. So do you mind if we just send it out to these universities, see what they think? Because sometimes they get really upset if they don't like what we put on our platform. And I said, sure, I understand that. I would ask that you would consider any bias they might have as they come to it as well and evaluate it. Like, are they a university faculty that got money from pharmaceutical? Who knows? Let's just, check them. So that was before Christmas. And then just Monday night, I got an email. Not surprising, but disappointing. Yes, they've decided to pass on the film because although it's well-made film, it's just one man's story. It's just anecdotal. And there's no scientific rigor. And it shouldn't be amongst an educational platform. And yeah, my heart broke. Not for myself. I don't care about the film that to get on there, but it broke for our society, for education, for our universities, for the exchange of different viewpoints. I have scientific studies in there. I have scientists. This is peer-reviewed studies. There's nothing outrageous. No one will debate me. No one writes a letter and says, you got this wrong, you got that wrong, you got that wrong. They just say, no, you're not welcome to the party. You're not in the club.
Yeah, and so, I'm surprised to hear that as well. Because I was shocked that was on YouTube. That's how I met you. I heard about your documentary. I went to watch it. It was on YouTube, and it was still on YouTube. Like, what happened here? Something changed because we couldn't even say the word before. I said, I talked about Detective Helen Grews, and our channel got deleted. But your movie stayed up, and that's kind of how you and I connected. Because I reached out, like, first, tell me how you did it. How did you get this to stay on YouTube? And second, wow, great job. We need more stories like this. One thing led to another, and we started talking about the Dan Hartman stuff because we got to be honest with you, Dean. That movie, while I was driving from Montreal to Eastern Ontario, is what caused me to pick up my camera and go film Dan and some other people while I was on tour. I wasn't on tour for the Dan movie. I was on tour for the self-determination conversation in Alberta. I was capturing perspectives from across Canada, but I had my equipment with me, and I called up Dan, I called up Shoemaker, and just started filming. So something happened because of your movie that led to this one, documentary, that led to this documentary being created. So thanks very much. And Dan, that's why I think there's something divine happening here, because I just happen to be in the right place with the cameras, with the motivation, the time, and access to you to get this thing done during that tour. So it worked out great. Do you feel weird about being in the movie or the documentary, Dan? Sorry to the people who are correcting me on that one. It's just muscle memory here. But the documentary, did you feel weird about seeing yourself in there, or did it feel like just things came together for you?
Everything just came together. There's no such thing as coincidence. I do believe God is behind this. I truly do, because so many weird things have happened that are unexplainable. So there is divine intervention going on here. I mean, it's just crazy how everything has come together. And I always say to Angie, look at this. It's just when I was at my lowest point, ready to give up, something would happen. And then you came to me talking about this, and I don't like seeing myself cry, but I in the documentary, but people need to see it. It's the absolute truth. I can't save Sean now, but I can save other parents from going through the worst pain possible. And that's been my intention from the beginning, is to raise awareness. I mean, people call me a grifter, and I'm only doing this for money. I mean, what we're suing for is pocket change to them. It's not going to affect Pfizer at all. And this has always been about awareness. I've been doing this long before I had a lawsuit, long before I had a lawyer. It's to raise awareness, to show people what can happen. And it should never be censored because we're all adults. We can all make up our own mind. Watching any of Dean's documentaries, none of them should ever be censored. We're adults. Make up your own mind and watch it and see what you think. Everything in the documentary, The Shot, is absolute truth. There are no lies. It's reality of what has happened to me and my family. And Alan and Trista and Shauna and Auburn. It's the truth.
Yeah. And speaking of censorship, 3 out of the 6 venues are churches because it's very difficult to find places that will let us do this. Had another feeder yesterday tell me, sorry, can't make it happen. And they actually put in their email. And then one of the reasons is because we have Black Lives Matters film going on. So that stuff's already been proven to be a fraud down in the US, but yet here in Canada, they're still pushing it. And because they took up a lot of the screen time, there's no room for us. So we have to make an alternative for the Oakville area. But still working on that. But half of the venues that we booked are churches, Dean. They're allowing this to happen, have these conversations, but we're having difficulty finding theaters to cooperate. You had the same problem when you tried to do your screenings, yes?
Yeah, exactly the same problem. They just don't want to touch it. And it's unfortunate. Like I say, the art scene has a huge, long history of speaking truth to power, questioning things. And right now, they don't want any part of those unless it's sort of aligned with certain politics. So yeah, that's why I suggested we got to try, community centers, churches, just, it's just the hill we kind of have to go over.
And if you want to request a screening or even offer to host a screening, go to supportsean.ca. There's a little section there that says request a screening. Put in your name, email, and the location that you want to do it at, because we've received 45 of those already. And all the way from Las Vegas to Palo Alto to Chicago, then all over Canada, there's people requesting screenings near them. So if you're watching this right now and you want to, it's not one of the 6 locations, or you're not in Alberta. And Dean, you're going to do some more after this, right? So after these 6 screenings, you're going to also hit the road some more. You hit more locations around Ontario?
Yeah, that's what we're going to try to do. I'll try to follow the sort of the path that I took my other film on, because I've got those connections with those communities, those people, those venues. And so, yeah, we'll just try to get it to every place that we can. I'll kind of be doing the same thing you're doing in Alberta.
Yep. And we've reached out to 2 national chains or theater chains that have a lot of theaters. And I'm expecting to get an answer from both of them very soon. Whether we can rent from them or they may carry it as something that's available to the public through their network. We're working on that as well. We want this to be in front of as many people as possible. And Dan, one of the main things that we're doing here is this is a fundraiser, because your legal fees, you're about halfway there and they're just mounting as there's appeals and additional stuff. Those legal fees are mounting. And it's unfortunate that we have to go to the public to try and raise those funds. But it's also fortunate that there are people that are willing to step up like that.
Oh yeah, everyone who has donated is the salt of the earth, in my opinion. Great people who just want justice. And even a $7 is the minimum donation if anyone wants to try to help us, because you are really contributing to history. History will be made with my son. I truly believe that in my heart, that this is going to change a lot of things. And when we went to the appeal, at the very end of the appeal, the judges said, have you decided on court costs? And Omar looked over at the Health Canada lawyers and they said, no, we haven't. So the judges left the room. They said, we'll give you a couple minutes to discuss that. And then they came back, and then Health Canada said, if I lose this appeal, they want $47,000 in court costs, which I think is just disgusting and unfair. I mean, you've taken my son, and now if I lose my chance at an appeal, you want $47,000? Well, I think you've taken enough from me and my family. Couldn't they have just said, okay, we'll let you off the hook on this one? I don't know where they come up with that figure. To me, I don't know if that's normal for courts, but to me, it's just ridiculous. So now we need help more than anyone, more than ever. I mean, and for anyone who wants to fight this, I can't do it alone. I said that from the beginning. I'm just a truck driver who lives paycheck to paycheck, and I need help from everyone who wants justice. We can do this. We can really do this. But unfortunately, lawsuits cost a ton of money, especially now with this $47,000. I haven't got it out of my head in a couple days. It's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. And those are going to mount to every single time you take another step forward. They're going to mount as well. And that's also why, like, when you go to supportsean.ca, it goes to the Give, Send, Go. And then just to be clear to anybody that's giving, that Give, Send, Go goes straight to the lawyer. It doesn't go through you. It goes straight to the lawyer. So it's absolutely to fund all the legal. And Omar is taking on both of those cases for you, the appeal and the Pfizer. So it's heading in his direction. And he's also taking a big cut on it. He's not making a fortune on this. He's keeping his costs down to make sure that this process can continue, correct?
Oh yeah, people say, "How dare you ask for $500,000?" Well, first of all, I didn't set the money. Omar did. He knows what it costs. Just one single wrongful death suit alone can cost over $1 million. He's asking for 500,000, and that won't even cover it. So he is doing us a favor. He's doing not just Sean a favor, but all of Canada. That's not even going to cover what it costs. And I don't think people have any idea how much it costs to take on two giants, Pfizer and Health Canada. It would cost millions of dollars. So in the end, Omar is going to be helping us with a lot of stuff for free. So I'm just trying to get him what he needs to basically fight them. And he's going to be doing a lot of work without charging all of us. So he's a great man, and I trust him with my life, because he's our only chance. Like, you cannot sue in America. This is the first lawsuit in North America against Pfizer for wrongful death. And even a lot of Americans want justice. Well, now's your chance. If you want justice, help me. Let's do this.
Beautiful. And you're going to be at the Barrie screening, and you might make a couple of the other screens as well. Not Ottawa, though, right? We're not sure about Ottawa.
No, I can't make Ottawa, but I will try to be at Toronto West. I'll be at Barrie for sure. And if you're doing Mississauga or Oakville, I can probably be out to that one too.
And I think Peterborough is now set as well. You have a really strong group out in Peterborough. That's another one you can make it to?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. And then Dean, same story there. I think you're making it to all of them except Ottawa.
Yeah, that's right.
Still the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah. And in Ottawa, I'll be there. Detective Helen Gruce will be there. Dr. Chris Shoemaker will be there. So there'll be a meet and greet there as well. And I think we will try and either get you there live over the internet or do some sort of special message from both of you so that we can share that with people in Ottawa as well. But at the other ones, if you're going to be in the Toronto area, Peterborough, Hamilton, you should be able to see most of us there as well. And also Dr. Chris Shoemaker is going to jump into the vehicle with me and make it to the ones after Ottawa as well. So we're doing our best to get as many people from the movie out there. In Alberta, you can expect to see Dr. Hodgkinson at some of these screenings because he's in the movie or documentary, sorry. And Theo Fleury, who should also be at a screening or two in Southern Alberta because he's also in the documentary. So we're going to have to put a lot of kilometers on your car there, Dean and Dan. But I think you're okay with that, right, Dean?
Yeah, we got to go. We got, I mean, you know, when I did my first film, it was just me and Michael. We didn't have a platform. We didn't have a lot of high profile people in it. But this time it's different. You know, Dan has built an army of support behind him. He's got a lot of big name people. And I mean, I'm sorry, superficial. If you've got a documentary and you got to get it out there, you need that stuff. You need the voices of all these people with these platforms, and we've got it. So we've got to hit now, and we've got to hit hard. We've got to go.
Yeah, and it couldn't have come at a better time, Dan, because the awareness right now needs to keep building, especially for 2026. Everybody needs to know about this. And like I said, we've received requests all over the States already to do screenings down there. So I'm trying to find ways to get that done. Maybe there's a theater chain down there. I reached out to Dr. McCullough as well. Maybe fly down there for 1 or 2 of these screenings in a bigger market. But it's to raise funds to make sure that 2026, you don't worry about funds and you just focus on the legal and fighting hard. What Dean mentioned there was your army. And this came out in the documentary as well. You do have an army behind you, Sean's army, and they're showing up already.
Yes, a lot of people tag that when they respond to me, hashtag Sean's Army, because that's what it is. It is an army of good people who want just the truth and just justice. That's it. We're not asking for $20 trillion. I wish I could, because then I would help every single person who was injured. But this is an army of good people who want justice. My boy was innocent and pure. He was the purest angel I've ever known in my life. Just an amazing child, and he deserves justice. He was taken from me way too soon, and I'm in horrible pain, and I'll fight for him until my heart stops. And I can't even begin to heal until I get justice. It's impossible. It's the worst pain known to any human being. Like a lot of people say, losing a spouse is just as bad, and no disrespect to anyone who has. I feel horrible for you, but you can always get another spouse. You can't get another child.
Yeah, that's just not the way it's supposed to be. They're supposed to bury you. And that comes across in your interview for sure. Because I went through it again yesterday. And I was like, yes. And this is what keeps us going too, Dan, on our fight, as we're going to be driving all over the place. So to my Alberta listeners, do go fill out that request a screening, so that I'll let you know. And if you want to just put your email in the mailing list thing, that's another way for us to let you know when the screenings are coming. But the second half of February is when I plan to do 10 stops in Alberta, and then we'll see where we're at that point. And then Dean, as you're booking and setting up those stops in Ontario, let me know. And yes, I heard lots of people from BC and Saskatchewan already. We're trying to work with a theater chain that's very popular out in the western part of Canada. To possibly carry it in all other screens as well. So just stay posted on supportsean.ca. Throw your email address into the mailing list. We'll keep you updated as things are available to you, and also when you can get it online as well, or also how to get the DVD. So
exactly.
Dean, we are doing the DVD. I think we got the final files ready yesterday, and we might be ready to start printing those too now.
Yeah, they'll be available. I know a lot of people in these issues in this space, they want a physical copy of something. They don't trust it to be up on streaming, and it's something you can pass on to friends and just, have forever. And so we'll be having those available for sale online to order DVDs, and then at all the screenings too, you can pick them up.
Excellent. So yeah, stay tuned for all of that, and it will all be on Support Sean, where you can also find hoodies and t-shirts and other things as well that support the legal fight as well. So, and the trailer's up there if you haven't seen it yet. So Support Sean's kind of the hub to go ahead and click the donate link to go to Gifts and Go. The trailer's there, the screening information's there, the requested screening's there, and the merch is available there. Plus how you can connect to Dan on Facebook and X as well.
And buy tickets for the showings.
Yep, and then buy tickets. Okay, so can you guys hang out for a bit? We're going to say goodbye to the public, and then we're going to go to our supporter section and a couple more questions for you, and then we'll let you get back to your day. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll be right back, gentlemen. All right, public. This is a tearjerker. You're not going to walk into that theater and laugh. You're going to definitely understand what Dan's going through. And I am very proud of all the people who stepped up in various ways to make this possible. And this is, I think, one step in many more to come. But let's get it out there. Do share that website. Do share the trailer. It's my pin post right now. You can find it on Dan's as a pin post as well. Share it out there and make sure that people understand.
Yeah, supportsean.ca.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do here today. All right, so public, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Make sure that you share this out. You click the like, subscribe, and the little button, the bell button as well. That helps make sure that we can reach more people. And if you want to become a member of the Levine Show, the Tea and Coffee Morning Show, and join us into the extended interviews, you can do that as well by going to levineshow.com, become a member and then a supporter. And that's where we're headed right now, to go talk to our supporters.
Yeah, no, it moves me every time because we have young children and we're parents. You're not meant to outlive your children. So
Yeah.
it moves me. Everyone, hope you have a wonderful day and see you tomorrow morning. Bye from me.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting us. And definitely thanks for supporting Dan as well. Have yourself a great day. Love you all. God bless.